So it's artichoke season here in Valencia, so time to cook with artichokes and time to make a video because it's a good excuse to clean my kitchen. Fairly clean. This out here is what we call the patio de luz. Just gives a little light into these interior rooms of the house. It's like my kitchen. I used to hate this sink when I moved in. I thought it was really old-fashioned, but it's kind of awesome for washing big pans like a paella. Okay, artichokes. I've already done all the dirty work and soak them in lemon water, which is supposed to keep them from turning brown, but they always turn a little brown. There's nothing you can do about that. Pretty nice artichokes. That's it. That was a pain in the ass. So I did that before. And everything else is set up. This is what the French call a mise en place, which means like you see in a cooking show, you just have everything ready. It really is, this is all the work when you're cooking. If you do all this first, the rest of it is just throwing crap into the pan. That's about it. Now the reason I'm making risotto is because this is a new item for us in my grocery store is arborio rice. And they say risotto, just so you know. That's what it's for. We have, we're pretty much snobs about rice here, as we, this is the home of paella after all. So rice, what else do I have? An onion, sweet onion, a couple cloves of garlic, a little bit of bacon, some good stock that I made, butter, cheese, all ready to go. Okay, another important ingredient here is saffron, which I will mix with the broth, and a little bit of white wine, which I didn't have on. Okay, I'm going to use 2 pans for this, just because I like to toast the rice separately, not with the artichoke. Make sure I got this. Okay, after the bacon gets a little bit, you don't cook it too much, just render it a little bit. I added the onion and a little bit of olive oil. Then add a little bit of butter to this too. Let that cook for a couple minutes, and then I'll add the garlic, and you can see I've strained the artichokes and trying to get as much water out of them as possible. I added the garlic, let it cook for about a minute. Need a little bit more oil, so put the oil in. Now I'll put in the artichoke. Give them a little salt. You hear my salt. Salt those, and I'll mix those in. Okay, so the artichoke mixture is finished, so I'm gonna take that off the stove, and I'll put this pot that I'm going to make the rice in on the same burner. Put in some butter. Toast the rice. Maybe a little bit of olive oil also. Add in the rice. And the reason I use a separate pan is I really like to toast the rice. Some recipes I'll throw it in the same pan. There's too much liquid in the artichoke stuff, so the rice won't really toast like it's supposed to. So you really want to move the rice around so it coats every grain of rice, gets some oil on it, toast. Toast this maybe for a good minute. So you can kind of smell it when it's starting to toast. And then add the white wine. Mix that in. We're going to add the artichokes to this. Okay, so I'm adding the broth little by little, letting it absorb and work, really moving the rice around. You really want to move the rice around to release the starch, which is the opposite of paella, where you leave the rice, the integrity kind of whole without releasing the rice. I've got the saffron in the stock, as you can see the little threads. So little by little, we're cooking the rice. Usually I time paella. With this, you just add it to stock and kind of taste it as you go. And the most difficult thing about risotto is cooking it, adding the broth little by little, filming it, and trying to drink a beer at the same time. Something's got to give, right? Okay, you don't have to go too overboard on stirring it. Like, you don't need to stir it the entire time, from what I understand. And I haven't seen if that makes any difference. So every time you add the broth, just give it a vigorous, scrape the bottom and make sure it's not sticking, and that's enough. Okay, then one of the little tricks I use with risotto is if I don't think the rice is cooking quickly enough, I can put the lid on it and just simmer it for a bit. Salt it. So I'm going to turn the fire off and add the butter. And the cheese, and mix that in. And the Parmigiano. I'll leave a little just for the garnish. Mix that in. And that is risotto with artichokes. My style.